So today you find the Positive TV team down in Broadstairs. We've come down to interview Peter Batt, who is the founder of Greener Living magazine.
So Peter, Greener Living, lifestyles that won't cost the earth. Can you expand on that for me?
Yes, we're looking at helping people find greener products without costing them a packet in the long term. But also as part of that, we help people move off using products and services which are environmentally unsustainable. So, I mean, it's basically about cutting carbon footprints, cutting our carbon emissions to try to combat climate change.
Absolutely. And do you think governments and industries are engaging with this?
Increasingly, yes. I think the government have started really moving over the last year or two. I think that there's still some way to go. There's a lot of money going into R&D, into new products and services in a way that, I think the technologies that will be available to us in 5 years' time will almost be unrecognisable from what we've got at the moment. So, yes.
So absolutely, we're in a global recession, but I kind of feel all these new technologies, it's about new economics, isn't it?
It is, and it's significant actually that the green sector is one of the few bright spots in our economy at the moment. Yeah. But it seems to be fairly recession-proof at the moment. There's so much going on, and there's such a need to get on and start, get using low-carbon technologies.
Because I passionately believe in the global economic downturn and crisis, we can have a breakthrough. We can engage with what we need to be engaging, which is greener lifestyles to save the planet.
Exactly. And if you look at the public opinion research recently, basically it has been implying that people are taking the opportunity to reassess their lives. Do they want to have their lives revolving so much around products? Do they want a better quality of life? Do they want to go green and help protect the future of their children?
Absolutely.
This is an increasingly major concern for British consumers. The journey started about 6 years ago. Basically, I was a one-man contract publisher, and around 2002, I had this idea for a mainstream-style green magazine. Basically, because I thought that much of the stuff that was out there was either sort of doom-laden or was just downright misleading. So I thought that there would be a gap in the market for a mainstream-style green magazine that covered anything and everything from a greener perspective.
Our viewers are always interested to find out someone's top 3 tips on how you can change the world or save the world.
Well, as a magazine, we're not necessarily into our readers making really big steps. I think, our whole point of view is that you can make a series of smaller changes to cut your carbon emissions. But having said that, I think probably the biggest thing you can do, particularly if you live in an old Victorian house, is get it better insulated. I think that is the single biggest thing that you can do to reduce your energy consumption and therefore your carbon emissions. And depending on your economic circumstances, you can possibly get a grant to cover part or all of the cost. I think the second thing I would do, and it's very, very simple, is change to energy-efficient lighting. I know that there's quite a debate going on about how good or healthy energy-efficient light bulbs are. But, I mean, they last a lot longer. The technology is significantly improving. Most of the new models, they produce very good white light and they warm up very, very quickly. And that is a very good way of reducing your carbon emissions. And probably the third tip would be one of two. I would consider signing up with a car club, particularly if I live in a big city, because not only does that cut your carbon emissions, but it significantly cuts your costs. Depending on the car that you drive and own at the moment, you can save up to £3,000 a year, which is a big saving in anybody's book. And the other thing I would do is also consider the necessity of flying abroad, particularly if you're looking at going to France or the near continent. So I think they're pretty much my main tips for the moment.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
You're
Cheers.
welcome. It's been good.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.